Good morning from London. Good morning from Canary Wharf. Good morning from Tower Hamlets. This is Mohammed Abashanabi, your host. You can always call me Mo. And we are live on a different platforms. Now it's the episode number 10 or 10th episode of the Great London podcast. And before I start, I would like to, it was yesterday, wish happy St. George Day for everyone who is celebrating, whatever in England, in the UK, in Ireland, and everywhere. I know the English people or the British people are almost scattered almost everywhere you go. You will find someone Brit or have a relationship to the UK. Happy St. George Day. I've shared a couple of personal story about what St. George mean to me. And my old school in Cairo used to, it's still there, but it's called St. George College. And we can have another episode talking about personal stuff. Today, I don't want to talk to anything personal. I have a couple of points I would like to discuss. They might be longer than this podcast, might be longer than the other podcast because we're celebrating. That's the 10th episode. I never think that when we started or when I get the idea about starting a special podcast about London in general, that we will reach 10 episodes. So it's a milestone. So even a small, tiny milestone soon, finger crossed, God willing, we will have like the episode number 100, the episode number 1000. So the Great London podcast was created to give normal individuals like yourself and like me a real platform. I don't want to say this let's just talk about 99% of other podcasts, especially in the UK in politics, or the host is the famous guy or the famous girl or the lady, famous individual. Let's talk about the individuals. And he hosts another famous individuals in the podcast, and they talk together. And they are very familiar faces. They're available everywhere in other podcasts. So they go from podcast X, Y, Z, and whatever the number, and they keep repeating the same thing. Famous people hosting famous people, and they talk about local problems or local issues, sometimes talking about themselves, but the idea that I see is missing is that we create normal podcast for non-famous people, even if they will be famous in the future. Okay, so individuals from different walks of life, whatever they live in London or no, and they share their ideas, they share their stories, they share what they would like to think about it. So London is full of stories, but many of them have never been heard. People talk about housing, school, crime, transport, business, youth support, and community life every day. But those conversations often stay in WhatsApp groups, coffee shops, school gates, and local street. This podcast about bringing this conversation into the open. I would like to interview. I'm just hosting right now, but it's like I'm the guest, I'm the speaker. It's like I'm hosting myself, but in the future, very, very soon, I promise that we will have different individuals. If you see yourself to come as a guest, we can do it. Doesn't have to be on the same place. We're using a very, you can say, the minimal thing to get the podcast out. I know that some podcasts cost, millions of dollars, or sterlings or whatever the currency. But we're starting with very simple, like the simple microphone, the most cheapest. I don't want to, but it's a very small and niche and do the job. And this is a webcam, by the way, so nothing fancy there. So, starting from the scratch, that's mean long-term goals, and you can do it anywhere. We can send you the link. We can just share your stories. You have my WhatsApp number available everywhere. You can send me. I would like to share this idea about London or being in London. Whatsoever. Even if you spend couple of days or couple of years or all your life in London and the UK and you have a story to share, we can discuss it. We can make a list and then we can, I'm open to whatsoever the background, whatsoever the story, whatever it's good story or bad story. There's no any experience you will be able to share that will be able to benefit others. That's why we create this podcast. So we're celebrating now episode number 10 should feel like a turning point, not just another episode, but a message. That's why we started and how we learn it. That's why Canary Wharf, Tower Hamlets, and London need a different kind of politics. The next Tower Hamlet Council and Executive Mayor elections on the 7th of May with 45 councillors and the Executive Mayor being elected. That means residents will only choose people, they will choose the direction of the borough. It's not just the Tower Hamlet. If you're speaking about London in general, 32 boroughs. So today is almost less than 2 weeks from the election day on the 7th of May. I mean, when we create a podcast, we would like to create a podcast that will stay forever, not just about the election, but generally. Could be election in 2026, could be election in 2028 for the London mayor election, could be a general election in 2029. You never know what will happen. Maybe this numbers will be changed, but don't waste your vote. That's it. That's the simple rule. Know about who is standing. Where you can find, just Google. Just Google whatsoever you would like to know, and you will find a lot of everything. Now, everything, I mean, all the candidates have been announced, all the information. There's no paper candidates anymore. It's like people who are fill the application, follow the rules, put their name and effort in the public domain. So anyone who's standing, just go and you will find in the 32 boroughs in Newham, because we are standing in Tower Hamlets, our neighbor in Newham. We have also where Hounslow, Havering, Ealing, all the 32 lovely boroughs in London. So just make sure, and also outside London, because it's like Scotland and Wales, and it's the UK local government elections. So local elections are not small elections. They affect schools, housing, planning, youth services, cleaning street, local businesses, safety, community spaces, council priorities, and how residents are treated. Yourself, you pay council tax, you get a service. It's like a business. It's like Netflix. It's like gym membership. It's like if you are not happy, but this is a slightly different idea. But if you are not happy with Netflix, you can cancel. If you're not happy with the gym, you can find another gym. But the issue here, if you're not happy with the council, you cannot cancel your council tax. The only thing is that you can move to another borough or another place, especially in the UK, and they will have another council tax. So it's like mandatory membership. So you have to use it. When you vote locally, that means you have done your research and hard work, and you're looking to get back what you, because it's you have to pay the membership to stay there, and so use it as much as possible. Councillors are elected to represent everyone in their ward and work with residents, community groups, businesses, and local organizations to deliver local priorities. This is why voting matters. One vote can decide who speak for your area. So vote tactically. Don't waste your vote. I love this party. I think they will bring change to the... See who actually can bring change. You do the math. See how many councillors are standing from this. What kind of profiles they have. Because between you and me, it's not just about Tower Hamlets, that generally there is a lot of paper candidacy. People just putting their name forward at the last minute. Just yesterday, I've seen people who are say I've been standing at XY, that I don't want to mention any names. I'm not talking about names. We're talking generally, which is, I mean, at least give yourself a couple of months to campaign. At least know your area very. I mean, the idea that you have lived in area for 10 or 20, or even you born there and you know everyone, when you say when you put your name in the public domain and say, are willing to be elected as a councillor or the mayor or even an MP, everything changes, because you start, whatever you are doing, whatever you experience in the area, you need to serve everyone. And it's not easy. Your mind will take a lot of time. If you know that I used to be school governor, I will speak of this in more details later, but the idea that you know the problems with the school, you know the problems of the local community on X, Y, or Z, or different communities, because London is very diverse, different backgrounds, different people from everywhere. So, I mean, if you have your own people that you talk with them every day, when you say I'm standing, you're a public servant. You have to serve everyone, even you never speak with them before, because it's like not everyone have the idea that I will go into a place which I normally don't go. It's like it's a personal thing. I mean, but being public is totally different. You have to be everywhere. You have to know a lot of things. You have to accept many things, if you whatever you like it, not like it personally, but you have to serve the people. I mean, this is why you're standing, and this is the gap I see myself as. The being political, if you have your career 100% as a politician, and if you are you can say switch career or do career shift to being a politician, that's you bring your experience and then you being a politician. That's much better than all your life being just politician, because it's like sometimes, especially in this nowadays day and age, being political, it's like And especially if you are formed by party rules or organization, sometimes you will say many things against your will just to be elected. So that's like playing with the mindset. It's a little bit mysterious thing, but we can talk about this later. The idea, so getting back to my story about being school governor, it teaches you that change is not only speeches and promises. Real change is in detailed meeting, safeguarding budgets, attendance, behavior, teachers, parents, and children who need someone to care enough to follow up. It's from the outside, before being a school governor, I never know that how schools are running. I'm entrepreneur. I'm a business. Okay, I know how to run businesses. I understand about this. Business can go fail, or you can raise money, you can change direction, you can fire employees, but running a school, especially in the UK and England, it's a very complicated thing. And when I've seen it from the inside, I mean, when I see a teacher, I tell him, thank you for your service. It's like being a veteran, especially in schools that the new generation that needed a lot of support. So especially I mean, I don't want to mention names about schools or anything, but the head teacher when I was school governor, he was fantastic. He's done amazing job. And it's a very tough. It's not like 24/7. I mean, I think being a politician is much easier being a head teacher. It's a very one of the jobs that I'll not be able to do myself, because it's especially you are dealing with not just the managing of the school, and especially especially the children side of the managing them need a lot of effort, and you have to be teacher yourself, and then you go up to be senior teacher, and then the deputy head teacher, and then it's a long way. It's need a lot of skills, and not everyone have it. So and many school teachers are going far and beyond, and I respect them. That's why when I meet them, I say just thank you for service. So that's one of the things some people forget. The next thing we would like to discuss is, please don't just watch politics from the outside. Vote, share information, speak to your neighbors, ask questions, challenge candidates, and make your vote count. Canary Wharf have 14 candidates, including me, standing on the 7th of May election candidate. So residents have a real choice. Just go and check them. You can Google Canary Wharf elections, or let's say Stratford elections, Hounslow elections, local elections, whatever area you are in the England, Wales, and Scotland, go and Google it, and you'll find the candidates. And then you have to do your choice. Don't just go on the election day and this is the ballot paper and you say go. No, being in the election day will take you a couple of minutes. Just do a couple of more research about each one of them and what kind of ideas or change they would like. The last thing I would like to discuss before the last thing is that it's yesterday I've met amazing from the new generation. I call them, if you remember, I discussed before about how I see, especially the UK right now, there is from 15 to 35, the new generation. It don't have to be X or Z, whatever. And then from 35 to 55, which is my generation, I call them the lost generation for main reason. We discuss about this. And then from 55 plus, our fathers and grandfathers and respected elders, I call them the Brexit generation. For all the respect, I call them for a reason. So we will discuss this about. But yesterday I met an amazing guy from the new generation, and it was a long meeting. And this is just an example of someone who is outstanding, have done everything by the book, and still didn't find a job. It was not just about I would like you to find a job or anything, but it was just sharing how frustrated he was from going to job interviews and how the system is treating the job process now. I think that's why I call them when I call the 35 to 55 the lost generation, because they already elder and they already in their, you can say, prime years. But if you look from 15 to 35, this is the new generation, and they need a lot of support. It's not that they have many people talk about the new generation, they are lazy, or there is a famous restaurant chain that tell, if you think the new generation is lazy, come and visit us and see how the new generation manage the workflow in our restaurant. I will not mention the restaurant, just we can do this later, but for idea, that's a very good ad. to show that new generation will be able to take over. They are the future. They are the future, not just of the UK, everywhere. So we have to take care. We have to give them a chance. I know the Brexit generation take a lot of wealth, and there is no wealth left for our lost generation. So the new generation have to make. But it's like we need to think outside the box. It's not just bringing kind of jobs. It's not just bringing open doors. It's not just bringing. Sometimes when you have an issue, you just need a simple support. It's a difference between being stuck as unemployed and then you can find a job. Because you see, it's a very funny, but if you just Google and say, okay, people are lazy, people don't find job, they go into they don't want to work anymore. And no. Actually, if you go to the street level and speak to people, finding an actual job nowadays in 2026, it's like being a magician. It's like it's a very tough thing, especially with the competition and AI. There is AI gatekeepers in everywhere. People, HR manager have to, in the old good days, they have to go through CVs and call them, and then nowadays everything is automated, everything, and we have to accept this is the new way of finding a job. But you can stuck in the loop. I mean, for example, one of the things they mentioned yesterday that he applied for a very decent job and he was intern in this job before, so he know how this company is operated, and they invited like 1,000 for the first um, screening, and then he pass, and then from 1,000 they get it out to 100, he pass, and then they invite 5 candidates from the 1,000. And during the last assessment, he just only choose one from the. He was not. He didn't get the job, for many reasons. It's like it's not. And by the way, even after this kind of selection, They didn't mention back to him why he was not selected. So that's a thing. And it's a very, if you stay for something and you have done it, you have to do screening interview, which is online, and then you go for the first, the second, and the third, and then the last one, and then you are not being selected, and there is no reason they give it back to you. That's a very tough mentally. It's like going through all this process, especially at young age. You can lose hope in yourself. And I know it's a business, it's tough, but finding a job need to be more human. And I've given him a lot of ideas and examples and anything you can do this and then this is why. But the way the way the job is delivered, especially in 2026, is it's needed to be addressed with the issue, because these issues will not be going away. If you keep pushing young generation and you keep them employed by asking with job requirements which is outside, I mean, the guy is amazing. He got the best degrees in the university. He even been intern in many jobs. So you have all the experience. If I was in his age with this experience, that's I mean, it's the idea that delivering real jobs to the new generation it's a very sense. And you not just spend your time at the politicians say, no, everyone is lazy, everyone don't to work, they just depend on the government, they are the most lazy generation ever. No, that's not true. That's not true. What I've seen with my eye yesterday, it was actually an eye opener. I mean, I don't want to, when I meet someone, I don't want to mention names or location or anything, but this story could be anywhere in the UK. I've went to university and it's not Mickey Mouse degree. It's an actual degree that's needed in one of the most respected industries. I follow everything. I've got the highest degree. I have the highest reference. And then each time I apply, I never been selected. So that need to be changed. That need to be approached with a different way. Because if we keep it this way for a couple of years, we will have another lost generation. It will not be a new generation anymore. It will be a lost generation. And when you have a lost generation, it will be very hard to build again after you have a lost generation. And this has happened on many countries. And this is not sad that everything is bad and Britain is broken. No. Britain is not broken. It's divided. That's discussed about this before. Yeah, we have been running almost, let me check how many minutes. 24. That's a long one. We've shared a lot of ideas and stories. So this podcast generally is not about noise. It's about building a platform where people can speak, listen, disagree respectfully, and share ideas and share the future of London. the next election is not about who will win. Whatever people will finally be free, but you need to go and cast your vote. This is the 10th episode of the Great London Podcast. Your host is Mohammed Abashanab. You can always call me Mo, and we'll see you in the 11th episode very soon. Stay great, my friends, and enjoy the sunny days in London. Bye-bye.